Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal, and you are watching the Mojo Story. Manipur, the state that has seen a lot of conflict and violence in the last year or so, is back on the edge now. An elderly man was killed today in Moirang town by a rocket propelled bomb. Now, that missile was fired from the hills onto the valley, and in that attack, one person was killed. Besides that, there were five others were injured, including a 13-year-old girl. Now, we are seeing this escalation in Manipur over the last few days, particularly the attacks that have been carried out with drones and rockets. To get a sense of the situation, to understand what is happening in Manipur, we are today joined by an expert on Manipur, the situation there. We're joined by Major Dr. Muhammad Ali Shah. Welcome to the show, Dr. Saab. If we can bring you up on the screen. Uh, Here you are. Welcome to the show, Dr. Saab. Uh, I basically we have been interacting with you in the past, but we're glad to have you back on the show. But just to remind our viewers that he served extensively in Northeast. He was recently conferred with Director General Assam Rifles Commendation Card for contribution to Northeast, especially Manipur. And in his leadership back in 2007, he won the Best Endurance banner, which was given by Director General Assam Rifles. So he knows the state like the back of his hands. No better person to explain the situation there. Uh, Muhammad Ali Shah Saab, what is the situation there? Is this a sudden escalation, or this has been happening over the last few months? It just now the media has put its focus back on the state. That's why we're sensing this escalation, but it was always there over the last few months. What exactly is happening on the ground?
Zafar bhai, firstly, thank you very much for having me on your show. I am a great admirer of the Mojo Story of yours and Barkha Dutt's, and I don't miss any of your shows, in fact. And thank you very much for referring to me as an expert on Manipur. But I'm no expert, but yes, I have a keen interest in the affairs over there since I've spent reasonable amount of time and I know people over there. So now, having said that, Zafar bhai, the fact is, on 3rd May last year, the Manipur violence जो हुई है, it was building up. The undercurrents were building up much before 3rd of May actually last year.
Right,
The
right,
violence took off on 3rd May, and since then it has unfortunately been uncontrollable. In fact, I can see footages just now which Barkha Dutt had done on ground when she had gone to Manipur. Yeah, I
right,
admire this. Okay, so
right,
it was going on. Now the very fact is, बीच में लोगों ने सोचा कि ठंडा हो गया मामला सुधर रहा है everything are getting normalized in Manipur, but I kept saying, I cried hoarse that no, things are not normal in Manipur. Why are we fooling ourselves? Why are we playing that narrative that things are okay in Manipur now, everything is hunky-dory? I'm sorry, the reality is things were not hunky-dory in Manipur. We have neglected Manipur. When I say we, I do not mean the government only. And government means the current dispensation BJP or the previous Congress. No, I meant we individuals as a whole, as a society, as a community, we have, as a country, we have, the reality is that we might deny it, but सच बात है ये. बहुत लोगों को मालूम भी नहीं कि मणिपुर है कहाँ पे, और खैर
right.
उनको मालूम नहीं था last year. Unfortunately, very sad. It pains me no end. Now, बीच में जब हालात, क्योंकि जाहिर सी बात है, if you segregate the Maites and the Kukis and make them apart, and there's a buffer zone created. Buffer zone is basically like एक line बना दी गई हो, जैसे कि demarcation. So जाहिर सी बात है, obviously there will not be any violence. They will not be space of violence, only if they are coexisting together. Now, these two communities were coexisting like brothers earlier. They were living together. They never had a problem. Manipur has had a history of ethnic clashes. There was a very infamous Naga Kuki clash. There was Maite Pangal. That's the Maite Muslims, the Manipuri Muslims. And the Maite clash. There was an in-house Kuki clash of 1997. The third house being Kuki and the Kuki, they had clashed and they were driven into Chasanpur after that. So they have been in ethnic clashes earlier history, but kabhi nahi hua aisa Zafar bhai that the Maites and Kukis had clashed. So I have always said it is the sinister design of someone जो अपना इसके ऊपर इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए होनी और तहकीकात होनी चाहिए and it should be brought out who it was, where it was, how it was planned. And two communities which were coexisting so well fought and they became bitter enemies, unfortunately. Now, Zafar bhai, if France and Germany, they can become good friends
Right.
who were bitter enemies at one time, if they
Right.
can be friends and coexisting together, and today both the nations are booming in the economy, I see no reason why and how. There again, I compliment Barkha for the kind of footage, the kind of coverage she had done in Manipur. So
Right.
I see no reason why any communities cannot be good friends thereafter. We can always mend ways. Now the very fact is sudden. Last 2 odd days, khas taur se, the news, there was fake news earlier coming in, fake videos are being circulated from Myanmar.
Yeah.
The former Director General Assam Rifles, Lieutenant General Pradeep Nair, who awarded me the commendation card. इनफैक्ट उनका इंटरव्यू अगर देखा होगा लोगों ने जो एएनआई को दिया था, उन्होंने बोला कि उनके पास तकरीबन 40 फेक वीडियो हैं जो कि मणिपुर के भी नहीं है, जो कि म्यांमार
Right.
के हैं, लेकिन the fake news was circulating. Now, when the fake news was circulating, obviously there was rumor mongering, fear mongering, and panic that went around. So zahir si baat hai, I mean, people were scared for themselves. So now violence broke out, unfortunately, which should not have happened from both sides, from the Maite side and Kuki side. Now, when firstly, I always say it's always wrong to paint any community in the same brush. Like हम बोलेंगे, कुछ लोग बोले थे कि माइते रेपिस्ट माइते गलत है, कुकी मिलिटेंट गलत है, आउटसाइडर कोई आउटसाइडर नहीं है. Everyone is as patriotic as Indian as possible. जब मैं अकेडमी में ट्रेनिंग कर रहा था भाई, राजकुमार जलजीत सिंह, मेजर राजकुमार जलजीत सिंह was a माइते, मेजर Lamtingthang Khongsai Kuki, very good friends. They trained together, they played together, they fought shoulder to shoulder. They were very, very good friends. And I, first thing, जब मैं बोला मणिपुर से, मैंने बोला अरे मणिपुर से हो, आई नंगनुंगशी मणिपुर, यानी कि I love Manipur.
Right.
So the very fact is,
So,
जब ये
yeah.
जी
Yes, it is. It we know what was the situation in the past, but now we also know that what is happening over the last few months. There were efforts to build bridges between the two communities, but that those efforts have not really paid off. In fact, the two communities have been separated. Do you think that there needs to be that we need to have a relook at the entire strategy rather than isolating the two communities? It's better to build bridges, whatever way that is possible, whatever way, intelligent way that can be done. Last time I remember we were talking that people, representatives from the two communities, can sit across the table and try and find a solution. I think that also did not work. And now we are seeing these drone attacks, rocket attacks. It's also only escalating, and that's not helping the situation. There are casualties that are happening on the ground because of this.
बिल्कुल absolutely Zafar bhai. See, I'll tell you what. As they say, a nick in time saves nine. वक्त पे कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए and one should take it very, very seriously. The very fact, I don't know, I'm sure everyone would have taken it seriously, but the fact is
Yeah.
हम नाकामयाब थे to bring in peace in Manipur because it had gone so far. And the wounds are now so deep, Zafar bhai. Wounds are so deep from both sides. It is very difficult to get them together, but not impossible yet. I'm an optimist. I think positively. I think things can still be amended. Though not too late. It's never too late. अब क्या हुआ है? Because it went on and हमने नजरअंदाज भी कर दिया, हमने कहा नहीं things are fine in Manipur, हमने और चीजों पे तवज्जो दी. अब now we got news of the drone attack. Drones are expensive equipment. It is not simple. You need training to operate drone. It is not as simple कि उठा के शादी पे जो we put those drones on those.
Yeah.
It's not that simple. You need extensive training to operate a drone. Funding.
Right.
Now, a lot of people today would speculate that there is a foreign hand behind it. Now, I can't comment on that, but I can certainly say one thing. Well, when it started, I don't think there was a foreign hand. Yes, our adversaries would take advantage of our situation. वो देखेंगे अच्छा ये सुलझ नहीं रहा है मामला, आ जाओ हम आग के अंदर घी डालने का काम करते हैं, हम
Right.
नमक मिर्च डालते हैं. So the very fact is, we did not react. We reacted or might, but we didn't produce the results, the desired results at the right time. And
Right.
because we didn't produce the desired result in the right time, we have failed. We have let down. It's a fact. We have let down a beautiful state like Manipur, which has contributed a great deal towards nation building. Mirabai Chanu is from Manipur. Mairembam is from Manipur. Ratan Thyam, you name it. The list goes on. List just
You're right.
goes on. और जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया है, मणिपुर को भी छोड़ के भी अलावा, बहुत लोग उसके बारे में जानते नहीं है.
Right.
बहुत लोग उनके बारे में इंटरेस्ट नहीं देते हैं. बदकिस्मती से आई फील वेरी बैड अबाउट इट. आई लव दैट प्लेस, बट इतना मैं जरूर कहता हूं दैट आई नो नॉर्थ ईस्ट पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया बेटर देन आई नो माय होम टाउन. मैंने ये कभी नहीं कहा कि भाई मैं सब जानता हूं वहां के बारे में, मगर हाँ, जितना मेरा होम टाउन है उससे बेहतर मैं मणिपुर या नागालैंड को जानता हूं मैं. अब नाउ द वेरी फैक्ट इज, how will we bring in peace? You mentioned very correctly, we should relook at the entire strategy. Last year, there was a peace committee formed of 51 members, out of which there were Nagas, there were Kukis, there were Maites, there were politicians, there were also. Now, let us, with all due respect to politicians, let's keep them away from this first.
Right.
Second, a peace committee, I'm in favor of that. It should be formed. And they should get passionate people who really feel for Manipur, who are genuinely wanting peace in a beautiful state. They have been former GOCs who have operated there, who have served there, who know the area back of their hands. They are former Director General of Police. They are former Chief Secretaries. They are former governors. They are former Chairman Ceasefire Monitoring Group, though it's the Nagaland based, but they have an understanding because they've served there. So I can name a few of them. I can name Brigadier Gautam Ganguly Sahab. He was CEO, Commandant of the Ensign Rifle Battalion. There was Colonel Gautam Chaturvedi. There is Lieutenant Shokin Chauhan. There is Lieutenant General. There are so many of them. Lieutenant Pradeep Nair, who just retired as the DG. There's Lieutenant General Zadu Shah. There's Lieutenant Sangwan. There is Mr. Sharma, who was the Chief Secretary of Manipur. He's a neighbor, incidentally. There's so many of them. There's DG of Police, Mr. Bora. There are so many. I mean, the government should make use of them. The IB. We talk about intelligence failure and we talk about intelligence. I am sure the IB would be having a list. मेरा नाम भी उस लिस्ट में होगा, क्योंकि अगर मणिपुर से, और वो ये इनका नाम होंगे जो मणिपुर के बारे में एक भावना दिल से रखते हैं, who want peace in Manipur. Why can't they get them together, use their contacts, use their sources, get the leaders, get the influencers to talk on the table. Up to talk on the table, it's not easy.
Medisha, I know that there are challenges involved in this entire process. You talk about politicians. We saw that this matter was also raised in the parliament. The leader of the opposition spoke about it. The prime minister spoke about it. People have been visiting Manipur. But do you think that is mere symbolism? You know, when it comes to substance, when it comes to the changing the situation on the ground, there has to be we have to have a creative approach. It can't just be following a certain path and a direction that has been followed till now, which has not given any results, or perhaps it would give results in the future, hasn't given yet.
Yes, most
something
certainly, Dr.
something
Bhai,
needs.
most certainly. See,
Yeah.
yes, you were saying something.
No, you. I was saying that that's what my fundamental question was. That besides the symbolism of it, the need is to focus on the substance part as well.
Absolutely. See, Manipur had never become normal. Let me make that very, very clear. I have been in touch with my Maite friends and a Kuki friend, and I have been getting information and input from there. Manipur बीच में स्टेबलाइज नहीं हुआ था भैया. हमने अपने आप को बेवकूफ बनाया. हमने आंख बंद करके पट्टी बांध के हमको लगा मणिपुर स्टेबलाइज हो रहा है, एंड सडनली इट्स फ्लेड अप अगेन. सडनली तो नहीं हुआ. This situation had never calmed down. That's a reality. Now they've been drone attacks. The former chief minister's house, it was attacked. Now
Right.
there have been so many cases, so many instances from both sides.
Yeah.
How do we rectify it now? जो हो चुका है, how there are people living in relief camps. People, a cookie today, if he wants to go to his hometown, he cannot go take a flight from Delhi to Imphal and land over there bravely. However brave he might be, he goes via Mizoram, Aizawl, from there to Shashanpur. वो लंबा रास्ता लेंगे. So a Maite cannot go to the cookie dominated areas to More and Shashanpur. वहां से सब बट चुके हैं ये. Unfortunately, भाइयों को बांट, मेरे को तकलीफ होती है, बहुत दुख होता है. वो मेरे भाई हैं भाई. And today they don't want to look at each other eye to eye.
Right.
Leave aside Manipur. A cookie and a Maite on television. They come with such great difficulty in a place like Delhi. They don't want to meet each other eye to eye. They don't feel comfortable.
And we have
हालांकि मैं आपके
experience
बात
of
बताऊं,
we have experience of some exchange on the shows of Mojo Story. But I was just thinking that if situation is so bad that a person has to go to a different airport and then take a different route, it just gives a sense of the situation that's there on the ground, how difficult and how tense it is. The question is, what is the way forward? What can be done to change the situation? Of course, the ideas that have been put in place previously have not helped so much. Otherwise, the situation would not have come to this pass. What is the approach that you think need to be done to at least take some small steps? I know it is not so easy to change the situation overnight, but small steps that can be taken, steps for reconciliation.
जी एब्सोल्युटली जफर भाई. देखिए, we India is a global power, is a major influencer in the world, and हिंदुस्तानियों का बहुत नाम है इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी में, मान लिया
Right.
है. Now we talk about India becoming a Vishwa Guru and superpower and this that. हम चांद तक पे पहुंच गए हैं, मगर मणिपुर नहीं जा पा रहे. मणिपुर के बारे में बात करने में हमें शर्म आ रही है. बहुत लोगों को मणिपुर की समझ नहीं है. So it is really unfortunate and sad. They
Right.
are very much a part of us. They should be made to feel that we love them. They are us. So we are more concerned about Israel, Hamas, Iran, Russia, Ukraine,
Right.
China, Taiwan. We are more concerned about international geopolitics. हमारे जो मुल्क में हो रहा है उसका क्या? अभी लोग कह रहे हैं कि उसका सिनेस्टर डिजाइन है कि भाई कि फॉरेन ताकतें हैं इसके पीछे. भैया देखिए, सिंपल सी बात है. पहली बात तो मैं इसके बारे में नहीं बोलूंगा कि फॉरेन ताकतें हैं कि नहीं है. मैं ये जरूर
Right.
कहूंगा, जब आपके पास कोई चीज का जवाब नहीं होता ना, तो आप बोलते हैं भैया इसके पीछे जरूर विदेशी ताकतों का हाथ होगा. होगा अनुमान तौर
Right.
पे. यहां पर तो मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि है कि नहीं है, आई डोंट नो, बट वी मस्ट फोकस ऑन आवर पीपल, आवर ओन पीपल, आवर ओन कंट्रीमैन. देखिए जफर भाई, मैं जम्मू कश्मीर में रहकर आया था सरहद पे एट दी एलओसी. मैंने
Right.
अपनी पलटन के साथ वहां पे जम्मू कश्मीर में काउंटर इंसर्जेंसी ऑपरेशंस करे थे सन 2003 से 2005. 2005 के बाद मैं आ गया था नॉर्थ ईस्ट पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया.
Right.
और उसके बाद आई वाज एडीसी टू द जीओसी स्पेको, एंड देन आफ्टर आई वेंट, आई वॉलंटियर्ड myself to be on deputation to the Assam Rifles only
Right.
for my love for the northeast part of India.
Right.
मैं देखा कि operating in Jammu Kashmir was very different. Operating in the northeast part of India was very, very different. Again,
Right.
two different kind of operations. Now, there is a sinister design apparently we were talking about. I was on a channel in the evening where there is a sinister design of converting Manipur to what was happening in Kashmir at one time. अगर ऐसा है तो हमको वो रेक्टिफाई करना चाहिए. अगर विदेशी ताकतें भी हैं इसके पीछे, तो जिम्मेदारी तो हमारी है ना. हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि उन्होंने किया, जिम्मेदारी तो हमारी है. तो वी
Right.
शुड एक्चुअली कम फॉरवर्ड. एवरी सिंगल इंडियन should come forward and bring in peace. And the way forward is only through dialogue, only through understanding. जब the people say there cannot be any peace without this thing, without justice, I agree to that. Justice, yes, has to prevail for both sides equally. We don't want to see any more beheading. जैसे कि डेविड की beheading
Right.
हुई थी
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
17-year-old
I remember.
couple
Yeah.
was kidnapped. Who had a motorcycle.
Yeah.
We don't want to see any more of those. Gee.
Lastly, I wanted to ask you purely from a security point of view that this introduction of drone and rocket attacks, how much of a security challenge is it? And do you think there's also a need for a change in SOPs to tackle this security threat and to so that people get a sense of confidence on the ground? Because of course we've been seeing people clashing, there have been violent protests, but this is an entirely new dimension that people are sleeping in the night and suddenly a rocket hits a house or a place where uh, you know nothing can be done to block it.
That's a very, very good question. In fact, I compliment you for this question. See, drones are actually a very, very lethal weapon. They
Right,
are. They were always spoken about as the weapons of the future. I'll give
right,
you a small. I'll give you. I'll quote you two small examples. Armenia and Georgia,
right,
and Azerbaijan, for that matter, Armenia and Azerbaijan, a
right.
whole tank armored corps, a whole tank brigade was wiped out with
Yeah,
drones. 2nd January 2020,
yeah,
General Qasem Soleimani, the chief of
yeah.
army
I remember.
staff of Iran, was assassinated in Baghdad, in Iraq's capital, by Americans by a drone attack.
Right,
And drones are very easy to penetrate anywhere,
right.
and thereafter the bombing can be very, very lethal. So the use of drones, the coming in of the drones in Manipur,
Yeah,
is a very, very dangerous precedence.
yeah,
We got to not take it lightly. It's something
yeah,
very serious, because if drones were used, if that's what's happening in Manipur, nobody is safe. Nobody, including, very sadly, it is a very, very big, the topmost authority is not safe then. It's a breach of security, the use of rockets. My goodness. एक टाइम आया था जब people were, Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated in the
right,
80s.
right.
They were like, ह्यूमन बॉम्ब नहीं आए थे, ह्यूमन बॉम्ब
Yes,
एलटीटी ने ह्यूमन बॉम्ब से उड़ा दिया, सुसाइड
yes,
बॉम्बर्स आए थे, इट वाज
yes.
लीथल. Drone bombing, drone bombs are much more lethal than that actually. So it is
Right,
indeed a matter of grave concern, and a thorough inquiry, impartial inquiry has to be set in. And not just inquiry, it has to be, the culprits have to be brought to the book, irrespective of whichever community, caste, region, religion, where they come from. जो
right.
जो justice है, it has to be served. The justice has to be done. A lot of people say there cannot be any peace without justice, and I agree with that. Justice, भाई कोई किसी का भी हो, justice तो justice होता है. और भाई मैंने ना जफर भाई, I have seen in my own arms, I have seen my brethren dying, losing their lives. मेरे बाहों में दम तोड़ा हुआ है मेरे साथियों ने. मुझे इसका दर्द, दुख मालूम है. मैंने घर पे इन्फॉर्म करा है लोगों के. I have informed people in the house that your son, your father, your brother, your friend is no more in this world. Somebody has to do it, right? And
Right.
normally we say so and so is serious, is in the hospital, please come down soon.
Yeah.
I have point blank, I have informed people upfront how difficult it was for me, and what the reaction that I got from the other end. I get goosebumps when I think of it. I still get goosebumps. So I know what bloodshed means. I know how difficult it is. So we have to get them together for talks. And how do we do it? Someone who, you in fact, Barkha for that matter, there's so many people I can name जो talks में है, माइते से भी और कुकी से भी unbiased है. Unbiased होना बहुत जरूरी है. One has to be fair, follow the truth, and be just to the cause. The cause of getting peace in a beautiful state like Manipur. कहां पर आपको floating islands मिलेंगे भाई? लेक लोकतक में floating islands है. एक सनामई एक रिलीजन है. जब कंगला फोर्ट में उनका एक मंदिर है, पखानबा उनके गॉड है. कितने लोगों को पता होगा इसके बारे में?
Right.
माइते क्रिश्चियन होते हैं. माइते में क्रिश्चियन भी होते हैं, ठीक है. उनका
Right.
नाम भी होगा रोहन या लाइश्राम, राजू सिंह, इस टाइप के नाम होंगे जो कि हिंदू साउंडिंग नेम्स है, बट दे आर एक्चुअली क्रिश्चियंस.
Right.
तो वो भी तो क्रिश्चियंस हैं. तो कई लोग बोलेंगे कि भाई एक प्रोपेगेंडा है टू promote a Christian state and such things. I don't believe in that. Somewhere.
Right.
I think because ऐसी बात रही तो माइते भी क्रिश्चियन है, नागास भी तो 100% क्रिश्चियन है. So
Right.
it's not. So now there is a place called Ukhrul in Manipur, which is on the border, on the edge. यहाँ पे जिसामी, चिसामी, आगे पड़ता है फुट जीरो, चकापामा, उसके बाद आगे पड़ता है कोहिमा. It links to Nagaland. वहाँ पे Tangkul tribe is very, very dominant over there. Tangkuls are the Naga warriors of Manipur, very, very brave tribe. Okay, they have surnames like Khatings or Shishaks or they are extremely they are warriors. They are of the warrior tribe. इनके खून में है. So now the Tangkuls कितने लोगों को इनके बारे में पता होगा? बहुत कम लोगों.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so it is very
As
important to get them together for talks. कैसे कैसे करके उनको बातें तो करनी पड़ेंगी भैया. इसके अलावा कोई चारा है भी नहीं. There's
right,
no other way. There's
right.
just no other way, Zafar bhai.
Dialogue is the only way forward between different communities in Manipur and also for the rest of the country to understand that Manipur is very much an integral part of India and to have more understanding of that region and not forget what is happening there, what has happened there over the last 1 year. Suddenly, we are back. The focus is back on Manipur just because there are a few rocket attacks or drone attacks. The situation needs careful handling, not just from the government or the security agencies, but people on the whole as well. Thanks so much. It's a pleasure speaking to you, Major Muhammad Ali Shah. I'm afraid we'll have to wrap it up here. Thanks so much for joining, and thanks to all our audiences for watching the Mojo Story.
I am praying for peace in Manipur and I hope peace prevails there very soon.
Thanks so much.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.